Okay, so today's topic is how to offer advice. Today's question. My wife shared that she's been going through a very difficult, challenging time. So I offered her some advice, which I actually thought was pretty good. And her response totally caught me off guard. She said, "You're always so quick to offer advice that I feel like you never truly understand me." Now, for one, I feel like I do understand her, so I don't know what she meant. And number two, I'd like to know, is there ever a right time to offer advice? So, in answer to your question, I would say that whereas your question deals with the husband-wife dynamic, this scenario can apply to many relationships, not only in marriage. That when people share their struggles, the knee-jerk reaction for many of us is to offer advice. But very often, the one sharing is not looking for a quick solution. They need to express their feelings, their struggles, and they're looking for an open ear and an open heart, someone that will listen. Now, for one, when a person speaks, it eases their inner pain and tension. Speaking in and of itself is healing, it's a release. And number two, very importantly, speaking enables a person to discover their own insights and solutions. Now, in a spiritual sense, what does that mean? That everything in this physical world has a spiritual source. And whereas speech might appear lower and less refined than thought, speech actually has a higher spiritual source than thought. So, what does that mean to us? That speech has the ability to tap into our deeper intellectual potentials and capabilities and generate new ideas and solutions. For example, many of us have had the experience that when we go to speak something out to somebody else, kind of maybe a problem, a situation that's been hard for us to understand, as soon as we start to speak, now I understand, it became clear to me. Or brainstorming. As opposed to somebody sitting by themselves and thinking, people get together and they discuss ideas, they brainstorm, they come up with solutions and ideas that they very well might not have come to just sitting by themselves. And another example, as many therapists can testify to, that by simply listening with an empathetic ear, the client often arrives at their own realizations and solutions that are very helpful to them. I once had a client that I would simply listen to. Most of the session was really active listening, enabling him to speak, to share, asking open-ended questions, but he would basically speak. And he would leave the session with new insights that really helped him. He felt, interestingly enough, that I was giving him the insights, but really they were coming from him. I was simply creating this space where he could share and tap in to those deeper places within inside himself that had previously been concealed and covered from his awareness. Now, so therefore, if you're going to offer advice, knowing how and when to share is essential. Even the best advice will be brushed aside and forgotten if the person's not ready to receive the advice. When we listen with empathy and understanding, it builds connection and trust and creates an environment where the speaker feels understood and accepted. So, therefore, you don't always have to offer advice. But if you're going to offer advice in this environment of understanding and empathy and connection, the advice is much more likely to be welcomed and accepted.